What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Base Damage. Hope you're all doing well. We are back here on TCGPlayer.com after having made the two videos that I've done so far on looking over some of the articles. They did one Weiss article that I saw and one MTG article that I saw. Feel free to go check out those videos if you want. But I kind of had an idea of what if I just look through a whole bunch of the articles and see what else pops up specifically for Weiss Schwarz. I want to see how much TCG Player talks about it, and obviously we can just search, but let's go ahead and hop right into it. So obviously, if you go up top here with the games that they cover, this is infinite.tcgplayer.com, which, like I said, is where they post articles for Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, etc. More games, so they do have several others up here. Obviously, One Piece, I'm surprised that, as big as that's getting, I'm surprised that's not, up here at the top. Digimon, Card Fight, Vanguard is here. We do see Weiss Schwarz, so it is recognized up here. I assume it would have to, for me to have read the other one, the first article that we saw up here about the most expensive cards in Weiss Schwarz, according to TCG Player itself, what they sell and everything. So it is obviously recognized, let's go through this. And so before I start this, if we look at any articles, there is, I wish no hate, no ill will for any of the article writers. If we read something and it looks fucking weird, I do not dislike any of these people. I don't even know any of these people. Now, if I get up here and there's some weird people I know from the Weiss community writing articles for Weiss, that may, we may have to have a discussion. I may have to edit some content out. But let's get right into it. So obviously on the featured content, these are probably the more recent ones that they've posted, mostly pertaining to, it seems, Magic the Gathering. Obviously is going to be their biggest one. It's just such a big game, obviously. Regardless of whether I don't play it or not, I have to acknowledge, where, credit where credit's due type thing. Pokemon, which was really cool, apparently talking about Reggie Drago. Okay, so that's interesting. Top news in Yu-Gi-Oh! MTG. Okay, so I'm mainly just going through this to see if I see any post whatsoever for Weiss Schwarz. So even the latest tournament decks, I don't think anybody's going to be posting the deck profiles up there. It's mostly MTG. Even featured decks are all going to be MTG and Yu-Gi-Oh! The finance casual, all of it's MTG. I wonder if they accept people. Let's see. Here's the Commander Unsleeved one that we saw. So let's go up here and search Weiss Schwarz. So Weissman, the Weissman 2002. Schwarz Control. So that's a German article. Okay. Let's just search. All right, so let's see. So filtering for Weiss Schwarz in general. So this is the one. Get off Lorcana. So this is the one that we saw before by Drew. The 10 most valuable Weiss Schwarz cards right now. But I realize my head's kind of covering part of it, but can't really help it. Okay, I'll scoot out of the way just a smidgen. But yeah. How do you know if I'm talking if you don't see the little character bouncing up and down? Okay. So there are several. Okay, then that goes to Yu-Gi-Oh! Because there's a Weiss. There's a character named Weiss in Lightsworn now. That's the best sealed TCGs to buy that aren't the big three. And Weiss is up here. So, and this is also by Drew. So Drew seems to be the guy who is making all of the Weiss content. So, hell, it'd be cool to get him up on a podcast episode or something. And then if you go further down, every last one of them is just other stuff for Yu-Gi-Oh! Or for Lorcana. Or not Lorcana, from MTG. I thought I saw a Lorcana one. That's because I saw that there in the picture. So this is interesting because this does include Weiss. I want to check this one out, so we are going to be taking a look at this one. This was back in March. This was before the one we read by him before. So just to kind of give an overview, he talks about Bang Dream. He talks about 2 different Lycoris recoils of how to upgrade a trial deck, which was actually after the collecting one, the top 10. I'm just going to refer to this as the top 10 one. Collecting your favorite Lycoris recoil anime characters in Weiss. The 10 most valuable Hololive production. That is very recent. That was May 15th. So that was only a month ago as of the recording of this. As well as, okay, so then in March, collect valuable Chainsaw Man and Spy Family. Okay. Okay, so I want to see this one. The best sealed TCGs to buy. The best sealed TCG buys that aren't the big 3. The big 3, obviously, we're assuming Yu-Gi-Oh!, Magic, Pokemon. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, what's the third one going to be? Yeah, Pokemon, obviously. So I'm going to read through these. This specifically. Everyone loves MTG, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh!, and I would be lying if I didn't say that the big 3 are prone to stealing all the spotlight. They really are. I mean, even just from the front page of this, most of it was all MTG, to be completely fair. And that's not a slight against them. It's just it's popular and people love it. Yeah, I'm not like trying to be sarcastic for once when talking about it. The upcoming games, from Bandai's newest venture into the Dragon Ball Super IP to up-and-coming games from Bushiroad. Are there other games Bushi's making? Like, right now, it just seems that they're focusing on the their big 3, so to speak. Regardless of whether they want to include Weiss or not, obviously Vanguard, and they are trying to push for Shadowverse a whole bunch. So I'm assuming Shadowverse. Okay, literally, I wasn't even looking at the words when I said it. I'm not even kidding. Okay, so this was published back in March. So it says a 4-minute read, so it's very quickly. It goes over prices of Shadowverse Evolve, the starter decks, Lorcana, which is Disney. I do not care to talk about. It says the best ones to buy. A box of Lorcana is $109, which I think Pokemon's up there in price as well for that. Star Wars, Weiss Schwarz Premier Anime Collectibles. So is the view I'm assuming outside looking in from their perspective, and obviously these are showing like the market prices of booster sets that are here's the thing. So I feel the rest of like maybe TCGPlayer in general, probably not Drew specifically, but I'm assuming most of them like kind of view Weiss as just this is the anime collecting game and not so much a really fun one to play. So it's also only showing market prices for booster sets that, albeit a bit recently, also are under the different formats, so the boxes are cheaper overall. But it's also not showing like how expensive some of the older ones can get. So interesting there. We're talking about lovable IPs. Weiss Schwarz is officially my go-to game if I'm looking up to appeal to anime lovers. Most recently, Weiss Schwarz has had sets devoted to some of the best anime of recent years, including Spy Family, Chainsaw Man, with a chance to pull voice actor signature stamped chase cards. These are great. You generally can't go wrong with either of these sets, but you can also go back in time to find a unique selection of other IPs that Weiss Schwarz has supported over the years, from collaborations with the VTuber production company Hololive to fan favorite IPs like Kobayashi's Maid Dragon. Your inner Japanophile?
Huh?
Okay, that just sounds bad. Deserves to break open a box of Weiss Schwarz. Just say inner weeb. Because this sounds like pedophile. that Drew, what the hell, dude? I'm actually I'm not gonna edit this. I'm not gonna change my flabbergasted sounds that I'm making. This sounds horrible. I get that's not what you're trying to say, but you have so many people in the Japanese community, you have so many issues with weebs already being like, oh, they like lollies, so calling it a Japanophile sounds horrible, dude. Dude, if you ever see this, if you can, go back and change this, please. Just say inner weeb, inner otaku. Nobody cares about how the term otaku is used. You're in this. I'm sorry am I overreacting for this? I'm legitimately asking. Comment down below if you think this is an overreaction, but this sounds horrible. If you don't read Japanophile and somehow think of just someone who's like a pedophile. But that's horrible, dude. That's very horrible. Anyway, outside of that, obviously I like that he says it's his go-to game to look to appeal to anime lovers, which is really cool. There's so many card games that are based off of, I'm really trying to get away from this. There's so many card games based off of anime or originated in anime. Yu-Gi-Oh! Being like the prime example. Flesh and Blood. I don't know anything about Flesh and Blood. I don't know enough about DBZ. I think DBZ, Dragon Ball Super Fusion World. I think Dragon Ball the Dragon Ball Super TCG had to get like another revamp or something. If I'm misremembering that, I'm sorry. Let's see. So obviously Drew is obviously, it says a master's in English, a deep love for nerd culture. He likes making flavorful content. So really cool there. When we go up to what others, my brain is fried from that. Let's see. All time. So if we filter out, there is only 6 other results for Weiss, and it looks like it's all going to be by Drew. So other than the one correction you need to make in this one, dude. That sounds horrible. Okay, let's look at the Hololive stuff, because I try to keep my fingers close to the pulse on the Hololive stuff, obviously, so I'd be very curious to see about this. 10 most valuable Hololive production Weiss cards, which I'm not going to go for each individual thing. I just kind of want to see what they see. The Toa SP, this is from the trial deck, being around $300. See, this does show like the market price and stuff like that. I know last time it didn't really show the market prices for some of the stuff. Yeah, the Mio, this is a really overpowered Mio. Keeper of Nature. Oh, the Fauna Climax. Listed medium price at $550. Hell yeah. Under the Dazzling Sunlight Noel. This is... Oh, is this from the trial deck? No. This is from the set. I think this is... I can't tell if that says T or not. I think that's also trial deck. But this is also a very good card. 400. This Reina, this does not surprise me that this Reina has a price tag. Like, this is also a damn good card, and I love the signature for that. Moments of Iris, gotta love some Iris here. Also about around the same, $550. So I wonder if it's the same people posting for like the listed medium prices, like sold them for the same prices and stuff. The Crony one, hell yeah. Oh man, let's see. Ina and Takugra. This also does not surprise me. One of the most used cards in all of Weiss at this point, in all of the Hololive decks at this point. The Fubuki level 1, heck yes. I know Moroku was trying to get this very recently. Could not get it, but it's whatever. And the Tokoyami Toa. I will read what he says for this one. Finally, we have arguably the most notable example in Weiss Schwarz of the waifu effect, where a popular female character is so beloved that it drives up the value of the game piece itself. In this case, it's much more literally wifely, as Toa returns to the list bedecked in a bridal white that is enough to make her fans go absolutely wild. The demand for this card is likely to never drop as long as Toa has those diehard fans, and this is a stellar display piece worthy of getting grade. No, I will disagree with the grading. But no, I love how beautiful this card looks, most definitely. Like, they hit it out the park, and I think this is just one of the better cards in the Hollow Volume 2. In terms of most valuable price-wise, there's literally like 2 Suiseis that beat this, though, if I'm not mistaken. But that's cool. And this is nothing against Toa. I love Toa as well, but I think there's more Suisei fans than Toa fans. Am I wrong on that? I don't know. Gura fans as well. I guess going by English versus JP, well, hell, Suisei's JP. I don't know. It is whatever. Okay, so that's cool. Really, really awesome. I will give that a more in-depth read later. I'm kind of just doing this as like a glance over for sake of for the video. I'm not going to try to keep this too terribly much longer. So that is the most recent one that he did. So please, go check that out. I will actually get the link for this in just a moment. To link this one specifically so you can go check out his other articles and stuff like that, because he seems to be the only one making stuff for Weiss. So whereas if I were to instead put Magic the Gathering, just for sake of argument, I want to see how much Magic. If I just put Magic, it's probably going to come up with all of it. Oh my god, just under Magic alone, 4,143 results compared to 6 for Weiss. So I wonder if they just accept people making articles. That would be cool. Like another interesting little project and video thing to make a Weiss article, or even like collab with Drew on one. I don't care. That'd be interesting. I could see that being very interesting. Weiss Schwarz. So yeah, right now, I honestly thought there was going to be more. I hoped there was going to be more. Let me be completely real with that one. Even this says a 1-minute read, 2-minute read. I really hope he's actually making this because he enjoys it, which the way he wrote that, say even for Toa, and obviously it is very well spoken. He writes the articles very well. These are very short reads. I really hope he's not making it just for like a quick, oh hey, just kind of a quick thing to pump out real quick type deal. I really hope that's not the case, because I realized my head was blocking that. But even this is like a 2-minute read. The Spy Family is a 2-minute read. I had to post it over my head. Even the 10 most valuable ones was a 4-minute read, quote unquote. But I mean, I remember going over this. I made like a 20+ minute long video about it. So I don't know. It's whatever. Yeah. Okay. So let's see. The very first one. So we compared the most recent one. The very first one is this one, because it says March 15th. I realize my head's covering it. There you go. March 15th. I was going to go for this one, but this is the earliest one Drew ever made for Weiss. This was not going to be a specific. I was not making this video intended to call him out or anything of that nature. It just turned out that he's the only one making Weiss content up here. I can scoot myself back over. Weiss Schwarz, more than any other card game, has earned its place at the top of adapting popular anime and manga characters into cards. From VTuber collaborations to adorable cards featuring characters from... Once again, he's specifically referring Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. That was the same thing in the other one. No, that wasn't him. That was someone else. Right? Am I remembering that correctly? Who did the other one? No, he did do the big 3 as well. The one we just looked at about the big 3. So he did that one as well. Specifically referring Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. It was at roughly the same time, because this is March 22nd. He apparently is just a big fan of Dragon Maid. So, okay, cool. You may be surprised to find just how many IPs have come to the wonderful world of Weiss Schwarz. The alliteration there, very nice. While I would go to bat for the vast majority of characters portrayed in the game, I could certainly talk for far too long about my favorite featured Hololive VTuber series, Fauna. You know what? I take back everything I just said. It sounded remotely negative. Cultured man. Loving him some Fauna. You know what? There we go. No, I love it. Honestly, Fauna's great. But the most recent anime-centric Weiss Schwarz releases are something that we really need to stop and talk about. While worlds apart in genre, Chainsaw Man and Spy Family are extremely popular for a reason, and collectors of anime paraphernalia and card games alike should strongly consider them both. So, in terms of more advertising as collecting, not really advertising enjoying playing the game as collectible characters, and it kind of showcases Makima. Denji, I think you could have got a better picture. He just looks dead in that one. And Aki, you know, that looks good because it's like the overframe rare. That looks really cool. Iconic scenes. Look, the nut kicking thing. The nut kicking climax would be a much more iconic scene, bro. Come on, you know this. Obviously, yeah, the washing hands thing. Makima says, don't spread COVID, kids. Okay, so all of these so far, which we're gonna go back and sort by Weiss really quick, and I'm gonna take a look at one more article. We're gonna end the video. Specifically because everything so far has been collecting. Not so much talking about playing the game. And if he ever sees this, I would say try to go a bit more in depth about playing the game and honestly how fun it is. Maybe that could be the article that we write. If we try it, if we're somehow able to. I might take a quick moment after we check this one out to see if you can submit articles. I want to see that. Okay. So, how to upgrade your Lycris Recoil Weiss Schwarz trial deck. Upgrade your game to the level of secret teenage weapons. So, this definitely... So this is the only one that talks about, like, gameplay. Once again... Hold on. This was in April. This is the tail end of April. One of my personal favorites, Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. Okay, so this man loves him some Dragon Maid, but why haven't you made anything about Dragon Maid? If you love it so much, why not make an article about Dragon Maid, my dude? If you are talking about Kobayashi's Dragon Maid in every single one of these articles and praising it, make one about it. That just seems like the logical conclusion to me. Anyway, the numerous IPs that it has, including Dragon Maid, make it quite appealing, and there is quite a bit more to love about the game. You may pick it up for the excellent anime aesthetic, very interesting, words there, but you'll keep playing due to its canny mechanics. Okay. So praising the mechanics of the game. Okay, cool. The newest IP to join the Weiss Schwarz stable is one that I've recently fallen in love with, Lycris Recoil. The easiest way to get started with the game, and Lycris Recoil cards in particular, is unsurprisingly their pre-constructed starter deck called a trial deck. Obviously showing this does show the price. It does show the price of the trial deck. So, really cool. With the trial deck, you get everything you need to play the game right out the box. However, it is not quite a perfect play experience. I'll play extremely well against other trial decks. I personally ran it against both Spy Family and Chainsaw Man to great success, but it needs some upgrades to properly pop off. Here, I'll run you through the list and how it can be improved. Awesome! This is really cool. We're not going to go over the entire thing. He does say it's a perfectly solid list. You want to make something that's much more consistent. While the cards here will do just fine, you can pick any number of cards to cut. I would pick out your least favorite of the two cards. As much as I like Mika as a character, I'd rather cut him from the list and start filling in playsets of more powerful cards. You could, honestly, another big thing you don't really state in here, unless it's further down. Let's see if he does. If he states about grabbing two trial decks at the same time to maximize on certain cards in here to get playsets of. I mean, he does talk about filling in playsets specifically. So does he say anything about buying two of them? So, Mismatch Duo, which was from the set, showcasing the triple rare as well. That's really cool. You might want to state this is okay. So it does state that that's a triple rare. So really expensive there. Let's see what else. talking about upgraded certain cards with Takina, obviously the Chisato cards, the ones that involve their teamwork, which this is the one from, these are the ones from the trial decks, right? I don't remember if these are the ones from the trial decks or not, but either way, like being able to show like the combo cards basically. So the very last thing he does say, take it slow, upgrade with experience. In many cases, I would leave you with my own version of the upgraded list. You should have. However, I don't think that's correct here. Any of the cards I've recommended above will improve the deck, and I recommend taking the time to familiarize yourself with the individual pieces as you add them in. Don't feel like you need to slot in every single piece immediately. Instead, add an upgrade piece here and there. Find which cards you like most and make the swaps over time. This way you'll get better at the game without adding in too much complexity all at once. Okay, actually, I think that's very good advice. I do think that is very, very good advice. And I kind of agree with this. I know I just said, like, oh, you should have put your list. And I still think he maybe should have, but I understand his reasoning as to why he didn't. Like, that's something I do with any of the deck profiles that I post up on the channel, is I will say, hey, use this as a template and adjust it how you want. So I do think, I agree with his reasoning. Even if I think it would have been cool for, like, if newer players were trying to look for a good list, I still think he could have, but I definitely understand and agree with why he stated he didn't want to be like, oh, make this. Instead he was like, hey, familiarize yourself with the game, like learn how to play and make the choices yourself. I respect that perspective. Like, that is really cool. Let's see. I do want to, once again, I wanted to double check. I'm glancing over each of these little pieces. I don't see anything about buying a second trial deck. So I don't know. That's whatever. That's what I would have said, but obviously I'm not the one writing the article. So, one other quick thing. I'm gonna pause for 1 second here, recording wise, and we're gonna continue in a moment, just right before we end it out, because I want to see if there's any way that I can submit articles. So let me do that real quick. All right. So I didn't see anything immediately. I'm gonna try to do a bit more of a deep dive to see if maybe you have to, like submit like a request or an application or something. So I'll do that. Is probably going to be for a video in the future if I can find a way to do so. I would love to record something for that, or even talk to Drew himself. I would really love that. I may also try to see if I can reach out to him specifically. I also just noticed something as I was looking through. It says this is specifically the articles. There are no postings for decks under Weiss Schwarz or specific cards. So interesting for that as well. Just wanted to state that really quick. But no, that is it. I honestly was hoping there was going to be more that we could filter through instead of just these 6. I literally went into this blind not knowing that there's only going to be 6.5 because the other one that we looked at wasn't listed under the Weiss Schwarz tag. The other one was just kind of talking about like other TCGs in general. So that was kind of a surprise. I really thought there was going to be more though. So, shout outs to Drew. Go check out his content, man. Most definitely. He's the only one making shit for Weiss right now, unless we somehow do. I would actually think that would be really cool and see if we could. If not, if we could just get one. If we could just somehow get one, that would be interesting. So, I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Gonna be definitely looking into that one, just stating for future purposes. Thank you very much for watching. It is greatly appreciated. Please like and subscribe if you want. If not, hey, thanks for stopping by to check it out. Thank you as well for all the new people who've joined the Discord recently. We've had a lot of new people joining, as well as of the recording of this, we're getting really close to 600 subscribers. That is freaking awesome, and I'm so happy to be able to say that. But if you want to join the Discord as well, link for that will be in the description. Please go check it out. Please join. There's a whole bunch of other awesome people in there talking Weiss, even if TCGPlayer isn't really doing so. So, thank y'all very much once again, and we will see y'all on the flip side. Peace out for now.